African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 30th of June, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of troops defeated the personnel and equipment of the 41st Mechanized, 57th Motorized Infantry, 71st Infantry Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 34th Marine Brigade, 125th, 127th Terrorist Defense Brigades and 13th Brigades of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Neskutchnoye, Staritsa, Veselo, Ternivaya, Zavnovo, Volchansk, and Lipsy, Kharkov region. Enemy losses amounted to up to 285 military personnel, a tank, 5 cars, a 155mm M109 Paladin howitzer made in the USA, two 155mm M777 howitzers made in the USA, a 152mm D20 gun, a 100mm MT-12 Rapier anti-tank gun, and the combat vehicle of the BM-21 Grad multiple launch rocket system. In addition, the ammunition depot of the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces was destroyed. Units of the West Group of troops occupied more advantageous positions, defeated the formations of the 14th and 43rd Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 1st National Guard Brigade and the 12th Special Purpose Brigade Azov in the areas of the settlements of Simkovka, Petropavlovka, Kharkov region, Grigorovka, Serebryanka of the Donetsk People's Republic and Chervenaya Dybrova of the Lugansk People's Republic. 2 attacks by assault groups of the 110th Terrestrial Defense Brigade were repelled. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 515 military personnel, 2 armored combat vehicles and 4 vehicles in one day. During the counter-battery fight, the following were hit: a 155mm self-propelled artillery mount as 90 Braveheart made in Great Britain, 2 155mm howitzers M777 made in the USA, a 122mm self-propelled artillery mount 2S1 Vostok, 152mm howitzer 2A65 MSTB, and the combat vehicle of the BM-21 Grad multiple launch rocket system. In addition, 2 field ammunition depots and 2 electronic warfare stations Bukovelady and Enklaven were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of troops, as a result of active actions, liberated the settlement of Spornoye of the Donetsk People's Republic, improved the situation along the front line, and also defeated the manpower and equipment of the 24th, 28th, 30th, 93rd Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 46th Airmobile, 79th Air Assault and 144th Infantry Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Vasyokhovka, Kalinina, Chesavyar, Kurdiamovka, Elizavetovka, Katarinivka, and Kurakovo of the Donetsk People's Republic. The attack of the assault group of the 214th Battalion Opfer of the Ukrainian Armed Forces was repelled. The enemy lost up to 450 troops, 2 tanks, 3 armored fighting vehicles, and 4 vehicles. During the counter-battery fight, the following were hit: 2 155mm M198 howitzers made in the USA, 4 152mm D20 guns, a 122mm self-propelled artillery mount 2S1 Vostok, 4 105mm L119 guns made in the UK. Also destroyed, an artillery ammunition warehouse of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 2 Enklaven electronic warfare stations. Units of the Center Group of troops, as a result of successful actions, liberated the settlement of Novo-Alexandrovka of the Donetsk People's Republic, improved the tactical situation, defeated the formations of the 23rd, 47th Mechanized, 95th Air Assault, 59th Motorized Infantry Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 2 1st Brigade of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Toretsk, Kirovo, Mykolovka, Novgorodskoye, Volchi, Shevchenko, Sokol, Vishnevoye of the Donetsk. People's Republic. During the day, 5 counterattacks by assault groups of the 24th, 31st, 41st Mechanized and 68th Ranger Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. Enemy losses amounted to up to 370 military personnel, 8 vehicles, a 155mm M777 howitzer made in the USA, a 152mm 2A65 MSTB howitzer, 2 122mm D30 howitzers, 2 100mm T12 Raptor anti-tank guns, and a US-made and /TPQ-36 counter-battery radar. Units of the Vostok group of troops occupied more advantageous positions and defeated the manpower and equipment of the 115th, 123rd, 128th Terrorist Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Ravnopol, Vermevka, Novokrinka, and Velike Novoselka of the Donetsk People's Republic. A counterattack by the assault group of the enemy's 123rd Terrestrial Defense Brigade was repelled. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 130 military personnel, 2 armored combat vehicles, 7 cars, a 155mm FH-70 howitzer made in Great Britain, a 155mm howitzer M198 made in the USA, and 2 122mm howitzers D30. 2 field ammunition depots and a military technical equipment warehouse of the Ukrainian armed forces were destroyed. Units of the Dnepr group of troops defeated the manpower and equipment of the 35th Marine Brigade, the 121st Terrorist Brigade, and the 22nd National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Ilyanka, Dnepropetrovsk region, Zoloteya Baka, Olgovka, and Tyajinka, Kherson region. Enemy losses amounted to up to 105 military personnel, 8 vehicles, 2 US-made 155mm M777 howitzers, a 122mm D30 howitzer, and a US-made 105mm M119 gun. Also destroyed, the Enclave AD electronic warfare station and 3 field ammunition depots of the Ukrainian armed forces. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of groupings of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation hit a railway train with weapons, military equipment, and personnel of the 117th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine during unloading, as well as accumulations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 127 districts. Air defense systems shot down 72 unmanned aerial vehicles, 2 Neptune MD long-range guided missiles, 3 US-made MALD decoys, and 9 US-made HIMARS missiles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 616 aircraft, 276 helicopters, 26,968 unmanned aerial vehicles, 535 anti-aircraft missile systems, 16,463 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,361 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 11,129 field artillery guns and mortars, and also 23,136 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.